Don't poke anybody.
Yeah, please no.
And then right into the color, big swoosh on smash. Get in there. Keep going. Keep going. Remember the weights. Flip it. Same thing. And then there a little more. There you go. Flip it back on that one. Just get a little extra. There you go. Now for the black. Now. Flip it. Now we'll heat it up and let's get a little extra color. Bring it over. And you're going to rest it down on this ball bearing before you take it inside of that. Just do a curry and get that in. We're going to get it hot so we can shake it again a little bit. Bring it back about 7 inches. Keep going. Perfect. Don't slow it. When you let it get so cold, we're starting slow in that heat. This is effectively going to heat it up faster, right? But if you go in there and spin it in real fast, it'll take longer to heat it up.
Gotcha.
But when you were taking it over, hurrying fast is like the only thing that keeps it on, right?
Well, it doesn't look very around.
No, you're good. That's what you were smashing on. We'll fix it up.
All right.
So keep it turning. Space those hands out. Let's bring it over here. So turn as we go. Yep, we're going to start right over here. We'll let it fall back into place. And then we're going to go down, right here on that corner where we just a little bit. Same thing right there. Down. Then relayering the black in just a little bit more. Less pressure. If you notice too, when you drop down, the glass has all this pressure. And then we're going to take it here. Got a little bit of a roll with some pressure. Then go back. Now let's go keep that back up. Press down. This oven is natural gas. This one we actually shut off every day. And it only takes 2 hours to heat this one up in comparison. But it is hotter too. 25 degrees temperature. Exactly. It's kind of like that little more low and slow starts to get going, and then you got to pick up the first and you got to go along. Amazing to notice too, it'll actually start to twist a little bit when you are turning it inside of it. See it? Switch your direction. Don't worry, I'll do it. Switch your direction. Just keep it straight. And then grab your nut, right? So I start by creating a cylinder and everything. With it all melted, I'm actually using the table to work the material. I'm starting to work it off the pipe. The color changes from the material cooling down. Now I've left the tip untouched, and we didn't have to add any color up there because we're going to cut it off. Oh yeah. So right over here I'm making a restriction on the edge. This is actually going to be a scrap. That you'll be grabbing with. The grabber's right there. And you want to grab on, and you're actually going to slowly pull out.
Ooh, sweet!
I'm going to be twisting the pipe. We're going to get it hot first. And then I'm going to work before I get hot. Feel free to jump around to the front too. There's some boxes you don't trust you. On the tip only. And I do that because it's like a forge. The tip gets hot first anytime you put something inside of there. But by cooling the tip, I'm forcing more heat to the back. of bacteria. Because you can get this thing hot, but the tip will always be floppy. Oh yeah. And before you grab onto it, I'm going to dip it again to harden it up. You can even see, look at how it's crackled too from hitting that water. Dip. And grab. Start that slow pull. Slow. Yeah, controlling the twist. Right there off the end of the bar. One more. And stop. I'm going to grab it here. What I want to do is cut away the excess. You bring it down so fine and you can actually just
Wow.
stick it right to itself. Still pretty pliable at this point, but not on the surface. It's only that inside, right?
I think it's starting to make sense.
Once I come back from the heat, you'll be using the tweezers here. You'll be getting in from about the front, twist, and push. We're going to be just kind of balling it up on itself. Grab on, give it a twist, and push. And pop. There's no wrong way. Because now we're going to take it and we're going to dip it right in that furnace to get more glass on it.
Okay, yeah, that way all of that is inside.
Exactly.
And not take it far enough.
No, that's good. I'm actually just checking how it's moving. Did you see how I can barely move it like that? That's too hot to put it inside the furnace. It drips right off the side of it. But when we do it too, if we let it get too cold, it'll explode the second it goes right. So it's like a fine, almost like Goldilocks, right? But it's one of those things that you're not really going to learn until you put it in there too hot. Or you put it in there too cold, you know?
Look, I learned something. Boom!
Yeah, exactly. And there's a ladle this big that you have to use to like try to scoop it out.
Oh yeah, because you don't want it mixing in there.
Yeah, because you don't want to contaminate the 300 pounds of crystal clear glass. Now we're heading on down. Oh yeah. People that work the desk are the little fairies. Kind of keep this whole show going.
That's cool.
Go close to you actually see this with the serve also.
Oh my God, that's so cool.
If I just stay in there, the color will start to drip. Bring it out. Gotta bring it to the water because I spent extra time in there. You can see it boils on contact. One of those things you'll remember when you forget it.
We're going to be going right in here.
And we're going to
sorry.
cut right through here.
I don't know, officer, I don't know why. I don't have any fingerprints.
Yeah. Luckily, I was. So before I do anything, I actually start to warm it up. What we just dipped in there was basically solid in that. So if you go try to shape it, it's like putting sunscreen on it.
So this is the ones that I'm slow.
And you can see now when I paused it, the whole thing now. Yeah.
Getting the inside to the same distance.
Exactly.
That's why I've never successfully
Totally. I have a tank in my garage that I can help you on. You just have to use the proper flux to help the glass melt. This is actually cherry wood. So you can see I choose a large one that kind of comes to shape now. Now you're going to be coming in slides along the shape, kind of like an air hockey. Go ahead and leave it in there. Kind of like steam on the pan, dancing around. Now we're ready to start heating it up to take off. Keep it turning, actually feel that weight out of your tube. And then press down. Oh yeah, just wrapping a little layer around it too. And it's magnified a ton with that material. Now what we're waiting for a glass blower is I'm waiting for the feed to get here about to bake this thing. It doesn't feel like much to turn, but it's actually kind of starting to resist you. That resistance is from the glass tumbler, and it's actually trying to fall off the pipe. So you feel it. So that is what we're actually feeling out the pipe for instead of looking at the glass. Oh yeah. Because you notice that low slope can't keep on there anymore, right? The gravity will work with that. I got this tool called the Jacks I'm going to start to use, and I'll hand it over to you. The Jacks, this tool actually has a chainsaw. Okay. Starting to squeeze down on the bottom here. Exactly. When you're using the tool here, you'll be using it from this angle. Here's the story. I'm going to grab a little chain first. Anytime we're turning it, centrifugal force almost wants to try to change the shape. I'm going to grab a little first. All the tools that we use, we lubricate them with these ones. So they'll slide on the back. Totally. Keep it right there in the corner of the bench. Bam. Start nice and soft. Start with soft, a little soft. Gives it a little bit of skin to work on. Now squeeze it harder. Feel the difference. A little hard. Come on off of it. Right off the first shape. It always feels like it's going to fall off. Now I'm shaking every bit of water out of it because a puddle of water is back on it. Now we're actually going to break it off and do a bed of head. Oh, absolutely. And that's just naturally because of the temperature of that glass. You know, it's not going to come back for a while where if we actually look at like cut off of there, it's already basically came back. Exactly. Even if I pause too long, if you let it come into contact with that, it'll stick right to it. This is what's called the oil. Anytime you do this, there's going to be a byproduct, right? So it has color on it, which means we actually can throw it back in circles. We have to do something with it that's like turning it into jewelry, turning it into fridge magnets. Exactly. For all the little marbles that are in there. Those are all just cut-offs like that. So you could actually see here too what the water will do to the glass. It's like forcing and cracking. That's our thermal stress, so I'm adding it to that spot when I'm getting a proper break. Exactly. Now we're making our way over here. Again, set up by the fairies.
Set up by the fairies.
Highly
Awesome.
sophisticated, I'll tell you when. This part's kind of like sheet glass where I'm also scoring it, where I'm going to break it. And think of it like knocking on a door, not like a cop, but like a friend. Knock, knock. Breaks it right off.
Wow. That's cool.
You can set it down, and now we're going to hit it with some MAP gas. feel free. Point it right at that spot. Just a little closer. Perfect. So now gas, I want to say it's like 28 to 3200 degrees. But we're using 2 for effectiveness. Typically, there's a actual like a oxypropane source we're using right now, but we can't. But as you know, you can't just stare into the oxypropane source. That's actually what my glasses are doing right now. It's taking away any of the sodium flare and all that orange flame. It's only showing you the blue flame of that glass.
Sweet.
And it's also showing you the heat of the glass, but it's also protecting your eyes from seeing those spots.
I have trouble if I would turn that all the way down.
Yeah. No, 30 minutes of exposure won't hurt you too bad, but pulling 8-hour shifts without the glasses will really get you after a while.
So this is starting to
Round off.
round off.
1500 degrees is where I can actually stand it. You keep going.
So I see some little cracks in there. Is that the color down there?
Yeah, that's the color being pulled through in all those bubbles. I'll grab it here. Also probably scale from the metal pipe.
That puts your mark on it.
Oregon Coast in the here. We also put a little letter to make sure that nobody takes yours home. You guys get the letter M today. Now it's a paperweight after all, so it does have to sit flat. So I've got my Kevlar tongs so I can pick it up, flip it over, make sure it sits flat.
Oh my God, that is so cool.
Yeah, look at the top, it'll be really
Oh
cool.
my God, that's amazing. That is so
The
cool.
kiln is 920 degrees. Right inside.
How often do those fail?
Your first year, quite a bit. You have to be able to tone it down, you know.
Oh, you have it.
Yeah.
So what is it that you're trying to do that causes them to fail?
So when we're putting it in the kiln, it's so that it doesn't crack. When you let this fall below 800 degrees, it will crack out of the open air. But when we're doing this inside of here, 920 degrees is just holding it. And then at 6 o'clock, we're going to gradually cool everything down together. When we're cooling it down together, this is annealing the glass. Just like metals, even concrete, you're tempering, right? And when we're doing this, the glass is shrinking inside of it. But when it shrinks out here, that's when it cracks or explodes. You can take a look inside that bucket. The glass, once it just pops right off the pipe, once it cools down. Yeah. There's a chance they're hot, so we don't want to touch those guys. But we'll be over here so we can start our new one.